Hey, you guys, this is Michelle Goldstein, and you are at Heart Alchemy Yoga on YouTube. Please subscribe to Heart Alchemy Yoga here if you haven't already, and please continue to like and comment on the videos and share them as well to your social circles. It helps us out loads. We're super grateful for you guys. You can also find us on Instagram and on Facebook. We're really excited and inspired by this growing community of people who are getting so much from your yoga practice and moving through the world with a practice of observation and awareness, and heart, obviously. So that's awesome. And one more thing, check out our Panama retreat that I'm co-leading with my friend Anna Orbison in January 2019. It will be a week in gorgeous tropical beauty with lots of time to practice yoga and dive into our purpose and vision and steps that we can take to move toward that as we manifest and transform in life. So check that out. It's on the website. Let's get started with our practice today. So this practice is a Moody Day yoga practice. It's a yoga flow. It's pretty stormy and rainy in LA right now, and I love these days. So when it's sunny and warm, it's great to go outside and play. That's what we want to do. When it's cloudy and gray and snowing or raining or just cold, it's such a beautiful space and opportunity. It's really conducive to diving inward. And so that's what this practice is dedicated to today. Let's get started in a standing forward bend today. So separate your feet in Prasarita, actually. So wide legs. Parallel the outer edges of your feet. That's important. And just for a moment, bend the knees a little bit. Start to slope the hips up into a little bit of an arched back if you can. You can also take your hands to blocks here. And then as you begin to straighten the legs, flex the thighs, let your head drop. Take a few moments to check in with your breath. Start to shift your breathing so you breathe through your nose, Ujjayi breath. Notice if your legs have already started to slack. It's important to keep the quads flexed, so do that. You can even spread the toes. Let your head relax. You could shake out your neck. And notice how you're feeling. Notice how you feel. And as you breathe here, begin to walk yourself forward with your hands. So you're coming into down dog. We are coming into down dog, but first with super wide legs. Push the floor away from you. Find a lift of the shoulder blades. So you push the shoulders up toward the hips in this pose. And then walk your feet into hips width apart, or again, a little wide is always acceptable, especially if your hamstrings or your low back are tight. A little wider can often create more space in the body. And that's what we're going for, is finding space. It's not about flexibility. It's about freedom, range of motion, freedom to move. And a few more breaths here. Keep the upper arms active and scan through your body. Notice how you feel. Lift the right leg on an inhale. And as you exhale, step the right foot all the way up to the front of your mat. And then bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot and heel toe the right foot to the right a little bit. And then from here, you'll lower the left knee, and you can keep the back toes tucked or untucked, whatever you like. Draw the shoulder heads back and lift the lower floating ribs up into your body. Soften the shoulders. Good. And now we'll lift that back knee up. So there's a lot more energy going in the back leg. Feel that front leg, the front knee gently hugs in toward your right arm. Good. And from here, bring your left hand a little closer to your right and step the left foot up to the outside of the left hand. Bend the knees for Malasana. Sink the hips. So when the weather is moody, when we're doing an inward dialed practice, it always is dialing inward, but I like hips. I like to stretch the hips especially. As the hips are, when we talk about hips in yoga, this is where the femur bones, the thighs, connect to the pelvis. Lots of muscles going on, connecting bones, and there's lots of movement in the hips, right? The biggest joint in the body. Lots going on in there. Take a few moments to breathe. Good. And then fingertips down. Come up on the toes and spin the heels out so the feet are parallel, about as wide as your mat. The legs come straight. Lengthen, inhale. Fold in on the exhale. Rise up to stand up. Big breath in. And fold forward on your exhale. Good. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. And as you exhale, step back to downward dog pose. Good. And we'll come in for our first vinyasa here, mindfully. Inhale to plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale over the toes, come to upward dog. And exhale, hips draw back, downward dog pose. And so this flow, let it be extra nurturing, taking extra special care of yourself today, which is, again, the practice every day. But especially, let's pay attention to that. Lift the left leg on an inhale. And as you exhale, step the left foot up to the front of your mat. You'll bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Widen your stance just a little. Left foot over to the left. Lower the right knee with the toes tucked or untucked. Do be mindful that that front knee does not come to more of a 90-degree angle. So you don't want the knee to jut over the ankle, is what I mean by that. I don't really know how many degrees of an angle that is, but just keep the knee stacked over the ankle. Shoulder heads back, and then those lower floating ribs just hug in so you're not collapsing through the upper back. Good. Now lift the back knee up. So you're a little more active with the back leg. Draw the left knee in gently toward your left arm. Good. And then step the right foot up to the outside of the right hand. Turn the toes out a little bit. Bend the knees for Malasana. So if this is super challenging for you, you can sit on a block. If this is super challenging for you, I recommend you practice it more, especially this one. Really good for the lower back and opening the hips. Take the shoulder heads back and maybe just close your eyes for a moment with the palms together and check in with how you're feeling. Good. Now bring the fingertips down. Come up on the toes. Spin the heels out so the feet are parallel. And then plant the heels. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. With the legs as straight as you can. Fold forward on the exhale. Lengthen all the way up to stand. Reach the arms and fold forward on your exhale. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale, downward dog pose. And then inhale to plank and exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, belly in, draw the hips back to downward dog pose. So breath by breath, we warm up. Good. Step the right foot up to your hands. Come up to crescent pose. Gently draw the left hip forward and the right hip back to level the pelvis. Be mindful that you're not collapsing into a back bend, right? So lift the frontal hip points, soften the lower floating ribs in to stabilize through the middle. And one more big inhale. Exhale the hands down to block through the floor. Step up onto the right leg and come to standing split. Flex the left foot strongly and flex the left thigh. Actually, flex both thighs. You can walk the hands back toward the right foot if it feels good. Again, I know it's early, so take it easy. Shoulders away from the ears, one more breath. And then left foot down next to the right. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Fold in on the exhale. And with the feet either hips apart or together, rise up, reach up, inhale. Fold in half on the exhale. Lengthen on the inhale. And as you exhale, step back to plank and take a vinyasa from here. Up dog, shoulder heads back, heart lifts. Exhale, down dog pose. Take a cycle of breath. And left foot steps through, come up to crescent. Inner thighs hug together. And again, level the pelvis. It's important to get the pelvis stable to support the length of your spine and the opening of the energy lines. So we're working the physical body, but also the energetic, the emotional, the mental, and the spirit. One more breath. Standing split. Stand up onto the left leg. Flex the right foot. So we want that lifted leg active. Both legs active, but the one you stand on in this pose is kind of obviously working. Keep the lifted leg working. And gently allow your body to be in the pose rather than forcing it. One more breath here. Then right foot down next to the left and feet again either hips apart or together. Lengthen, inhale, and fold on the exhale. Bend the knees, chair pose, inhale, and fold forward on the exhale. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale to chaturanga. Make your way back through your flow. And when you get to downward dog, step the right foot through, back heel flat. Warrior one, inhale. And exhale, release the hands down. Step to plank, and lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot steps through, back heel flat. Warrior one, inhale, and exhale, release to plank, and lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Deeply breathing. You can start to feel your heart rate maybe speed up a little bit. That's good. Stay active in the upper back so you're not collapsing into the pose. Find a lift up out of the pose. Inhale up on the toes. Exhale, walk or hop the feet up. Lengthen, inhale. Fold, exhale. Bend your knees, chair pose, inhale. Fold forward on the exhale. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale to chaturanga. And when you get to down dog, step the right foot through. Warrior one, come up. Inhale. Now exhale, release the hands down, step to plank and lower. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot steps through. Warrior one, come up for a breath and release to plank. Lower down without collapsing. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. So it's an art to find the strength and stability and integrity of the pose, as well as the softness and the receptivity, the suppleness of the pose. And we're going for both. So there's this is part of the harmony that we're cultivating with our practice. Inhale the heels up. Exhale, walk or hop. Lengthen, inhale. Fold on the exhale. Bend your knees, chair pose, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to chaturanga. And when you get to down dog, step the right foot through, back heel flat. Warrior one, come up for a breath. And release the hands, step to plank and lower. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog. Left foot steps through. Warrior one, come up. Inhale and exhale, let it go. Chaturanga. And you just breathe that tender, loving care into your precious self. Mindfully, like you're doing it with intention. One more time, bring your feet to your hands. Lengthen, inhale. Fold, exhale. Bend the knees, chair pose, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale to chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale, right foot steps through. Come up, warrior one. Release the hands down, step to plank and lower to chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog, left foot steps through. Come up for a breath, inhale. And exhale, release. And lower. Good. Step the right foot through. Come to crescent on the back toes. Okay, and then from here, we'll bring the palms together in front of the heart. And let's step up to tree at the top of the mat. Left foot to the right thigh. Arms up. And then we'll take the eagle wrap with the arms. So wrap the left arm under the right arm. Slide the shoulders down the back and keep the standing leg active. So quads still flexed, belly in, lower ribs in, heart lifted. Good, and then release the arms. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Gently draw the shoulder blades together. And notice if you just collapsed, right? There's a tendency to do that through the middle. So keep the lower ribs in. You can keep the heart lifted, but the core engaged. That's an important skill right there. And then the left foot, step straight back behind you. Come to warrior one, plant the left foot. Lift the heart up, but again, without collapsing. Right hip hugs in. Fold forward into humble warrior. Breathe. So this translates into the world that we live in. How do you show up open-hearted, but being strong, not being pushed over? And again, this is an art. This is an art. And it's a practice. And you breathe with it. And sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it takes a lifetime or more. One more breath here. Okay, come up, warrior one pose for a breath. And open to warrior two pose for a breath. And then we'll inhale, both arms reach up, straighten the legs. And exhale the palms through the midline, rebend the right knee and come back to warrior two. So we're making big circles with the arms. 2 more times. Inhale, arms up, legs straight. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Last time. Arms up, legs straight. Exhale, back to warrior two pose. Sink into it. Breathe. Shoulders soften down the back. And as you sink into the right hip, can you draw the left thigh up and back into its hip socket? And then left hand to the left leg, right arm up. Reverse warrior, inhale. Exhale the hands down to your mat. Step back to plank and lower to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog pose. Take a cycle of breath. Good. Step the left foot through. Come up to crescent pose. And then from here, palms together at your heart. Step up to tree. Still breathing. Okay, keep the legs engaged. And now right arm under the left arm. You can also keep that right foot, the one that's up on the leg. You can take the right foot and flex it, spread the toes. So the legs are active. The body, we're waking up the whole body, right? In yoga, we learn to engage some things intentionally and relax others intentionally. So you can relax your gaze, relax your brow, and wake up the core. Wake up the connection of your foot and the earth that you stand on. And then release the arms up. Interlace your fingers, one finger over behind your back, so switch the grip. Shoulder blades gently together. You don't have to be aggressive about it. Step the right foot straight back behind you. Warrior one, draw the left thigh back and the right hip forward. Heart lifts and fold in. And feel the feet draw toward each other to engage the inner legs. This helps to stabilize the femur bones in the hip sockets, in the pelvis. It's important to create stability and range of motion. So we're doing both with the standing sequence. It's pretty extraordinary. It's definitely something unique about yoga that we get is the strength and the stretch at the same time. Come up to warrior one, inhale, and open up to warrior two on your exhale. Make sure your back foot's turned in. Make sure your feet are aligned. Inhale, legs straight, arms reach up. Exhale, back to warrior two pose. Big circles here. Inhale, arms up, legs straight. Exhale, back to warrior two. And one more time, straighten the legs, reach the arms, inhale. Exhale, back to warrior two pose. Breathe with it. You can adjust your body in the pose. So if you're in the pose and for a minute and you're like, wait a second, I need to adjust this back foot. That's good, do that. We're not statues. We're human beings, dynamic, living souls. And take the right hand back, left arm up, reverse warrior, inhale. Exhale, release the hands, step to plank and lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. Bring your feet to the front of your mat. Lengthen, inhale. Fold in, exhale. Rise up to stand up, inhale. And fold forward on the exhale. Lengthen on your inhale. Now check it out. As you exhale, step the left foot straight back behind you. And then the right leg back to down dog, split, inhale. Exhale, right knee hugs into the chest, shift forward to plank. Good. Inhale back, lift the right leg up. Again, right knee to the chest, shift forward, round in a little bit in the upper back. One more time, right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, hug the right knee in. Set the right foot back down at the front of your mat. Spin the back heel flat, come up warrior one. Open up to warrior two pose. Good. Straighten the right leg. We'll come in for triangle. Lengthen forward. Flex the thighs. Lower floating ribs soften in. The feet plant intentionally. So if you can work those, especially inner foot points, the mounds of the feet down, lift the arches of the feet. That will help you use your legs and your whole body more effectively. Maybe you turn your gaze up toward your left thumb. Good, and then we'll step to half moon. Maybe you look down for a moment. Maybe you grab a block. Maybe you turn your gaze back up toward the left thumb. The feet are flexed, quads flexed. Watch the breath. Beautiful. Now slow motion, come all the way up to stand at the top of the mat, feet together. Reach the arms up. You know I love that transition. Palms together at your heart. Stand on the left leg and cross the right ankle over the left thigh, and then sink into half chair as we start our journey or continue our journey into the hips. Again, those lower ribs. I'm saying it just as much for me, you guys, as I am for you. We have our tendencies, right? Learn what your tendencies are, learn your inclinations, and then you've got a good, solid, body of work that you can work with, when you're honest with yourself. One more breath, and then come up, feet together, arms reach up, inhale, fold forward on the exhale, lengthen on the inhale. As you exhale, right foot steps straight back behind you. Left leg back to down dog split. Inhale. Exhale, left knee to the chest, shift forward to plank. Good. Inhale, lift that left leg up. Exhale, left knee to the chest, shift forwards. One more time. Lift the left leg, inhale. Exhale, left knee to the chest, shift forward to plank. Set the left foot down at the front of the mat, back heel flat. Warrior one, rise up, inhale. Warrior two on the exhale. Left leg straight. Okay, plant the foot points, lengthen forward. Come on into triangle pose. Deep breath. Set it up, set it up. There's a real tendency in triangle to collapse the chest and the middle forward. So draw those lower ribs in. Be mindful that you're not collapsing. There's also a tendency to lean forward and stick your butt out. That's not great either. It's not bad, but it's not the healthiest alignment. So we're going for healthy alignment. You want the shoulder blades to stack over that left hand. And the left hand can be on a block if it helps you to elevate, right? Breathe. Like if you look down at your left foot, ideally your left ankle or foot is directly under your nose, as opposed to the mat being directly under your nose, right? Okay, step up to half moon. Flex the right foot. Flex the thighs. Maybe you gaze up toward the right thumb. And then as you breathe, rise up to stand. Notice if you hold your breath sometimes in transitions or balances. Arms reach up, inhale. Palms meet at the heart at the exhale. You don't have to do that. You can always breathe. Stand on the right leg, cross the left ankle over the right thigh, coming in for half chair. Flex the feet. To increase the stretch here, you gently lower the left knee. When I say gentle all the time, I mean it. I'm not saying it to sound fancy or something. It's really like we're waking up the body like you would wake up a sleeping child. Comes back to that tender, loving care. We're that fragile. Remember that. Come all the way up, feet together, legs straight, arms reach up, inhale. Fold forward on the exhale. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale to chaturanga. Good. One last little bit here. Step the right foot up to your hand. Spin the back heel flat. Come up, warrior one. And open to warrior two pose. Right fingertips down for side angle, left arm over the left ear. Lift the low belly, roll the upper back open. What I mean by that is there's a little bit of a twist in the upper back, so go for that. Be mindful that that right hip hugs into the midline of your body, so you're not collapsing it back. Good, and now both hands down to the ground on the inside of the right foot. Come up on the back toes and take a little bit wider stance, just like we started. Now keep the back knee lifted, and stage 1, stay here. Stage 2, maybe you lower down onto your forearms or bring your forearms to a block. And stage 3, if you like, you might start to slide your right shoulder under your right knee, if it feels good. And if that's the case, then you could wrap your arms around your right ankle or something like that for stability. Good. And now you'll lower your left knee. Take your shoulder back out from under your right foot. And then open the right foot. Open to the outer edge of the right foot like you're opening a book. Flex the right foot strongly, and again, if you want to lower back down, you can do. Keep your head relaxed, your neck soft. Beautiful. And then plant the right foot, press yourself up, and make your way back to down dog. If you want a vinyasa, you can certainly take one here. And then step the left foot through, come up warrior 1, and open up to warrior 2. Left fingertips down, right arm over the right ear for side angle pose. Low belly in, left hip hugs in as well, and then rotate into the upper back. Make sure the back leg is engaged. Beautiful. And then both hands down to the inside of the left foot. Come up on the back toes, widen your stance a little bit. And you can stay here or bend the elbows down if that feels good to you. Keep the right leg flexed for now. We'll lower it in a minute. This is good strength building. Nice. Now set the right foot down and roll to the outer edge of the left foot. And we'll come back for that other stretch. I realize that I mixed up the order. It's fine, whatever. We're all going to live through this. Good. Now come back up onto the hands and plant the left foot. Okay, so you can be here. Back knee is still on the ground. Some of you, maybe you slide that left shoulder under the left leg and maybe lift that right knee up. Beautiful. Okay, release. Downward dog. And again, if you want one more vinyasa, that's fine. And then we'll bring the right leg through for pigeon. Set it up so that your hips are level. The right hip does not necessarily have to touch the floor. In fact, it probably won't. It's better for your left hip to be level with the right. So you don't want the left hip just pointing up in this back leg, and we want in an external rotation. We want the left leg to be in neutral. So the hip points both point forward and down, and then walk yourself forward. And you can bend that front knee as much as you like. And now drop into that tenderness inside yourself. One of my recent practices when I catch my mind wandering is I take a moment to bring some self-love. So if I catch myself wandering, then I remind myself that I love myself. And I take that opportunity where I've stepped into my higher mind, the part of your mind that can see the ego. I take that opportunity to offer myself some extra love. And it's awesome. We all need love. So being needy is not a bad thing. We're human beings. We are interconnected. We need each other, and we need love. So, if anything, please stop apologizing for feeling needy. If there's one thing I could ever offer as a suggestion, own it. It's okay to want to be loved. And even better yet, it's wonderful when you recognize that and you begin to offer that love to yourself. Because if you feel like you're not getting it from outside, then what a better place to start. You control the dials of your life. And watch what happens when you do that. Okay, let's switch sides. Watch what happens when you do that, and also watch what happens moment to moment as you do that over the course of time. And come on in. Make sure the hips are level. Sometimes we get to the other side and we start to slack. So, deliberate, mindful placement of the body. Deliberate, mindful placement of the thoughts, the mind. And deliberate, mindful placement of the heart. So we're aligning the subtle layers of the self and the gross, right? The physical body is the gross body. And then there's the other kosha, the energetic, the emotional, the mental, the spirit bodies. In yoga, we harmonize them. Intentionally. And the breath is like a thread that weaves them all together. Very nice. Press yourself up. Bring the soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana. Knees drop open. And fold forward to any degree, including if you can't really lengthen forward, you sit yourself upright. I think it's really important now more than ever before to stay dialed into the yoga practice. And the practice has nothing to do with the poses per se. Everything to do with the experience within them. The living, breathing, conscious experience is the practice. Okay, press yourself up. Stretch your legs straight in front of you. Come forward onto your sitting bones. Arms reach up. And fold forward into Paschimottanasana. And for the last couple of breaths, what can you relax? Beautiful. Roll yourself up. And, I'm feeling like today I want to lie on my block and do Viparita Karani, which is a great inversion. If you have a yoga block or a bolster, you can slide it under your tailbone. I'll show you how to do that right now. If you don't, you can lay with your legs up against a wall and your hips up against the wall as well. Or you could do a shoulder stand. But I feel like teaching this one today. So I'm going to take the block to the middle level. You can take it up higher or lower. It's up to you. You'll rest your tailbone on the block and lift your legs up. And allow your eyes to close. This is one of the most therapeutic things you can do for your body, for your nervous system especially. Is to reverse the energy flow and the blood flow in the body. Allow gravity to make that happen. Feet up over the head. So you could be in this pose for as long as you like. This is one of my all-time favorites, and I do it almost every day, especially after a long day of work. It's like the first thing I want to do after teaching all day is come home and lie on my block. So you don't have to be warmed up for this one, but if you're feeling it, just stay right here, and when you're ready, you can bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, lift the hips, remove the block, and come down. Come to happy baby. And either hook the big toes or grab the outer feet with your hands. Tailbone and sacrum stamp down into the ground. And then release the left leg, hug the right knee in, and we'll take our one and only twist of practice today. Twist to the left. Good, and then back to center. And we'll switch sides. Left knee hugs in, right leg straight, and twist to the other side. Beautiful, and then come back to center and release the arms and the legs to the floor and make your way into Shavasana. Close your eyes. Feel your legs sink down into the ground, your hips sink down, your belly sink, shoulders. Relax your neck. Relax your face. Rest. And begin to deepen your breath. Stretch your arms and your legs. Hug your knees into your chest. And roll to your side. Press yourself up to sit. And close your eyes when you get to seated. I'm going to read you a teaching that has been resonating with me this last week. especially with the gusto of New Year ambitions. And it coincides with this taking time to turn inward. Forget all ideas of accomplishing something in your practice and everywhere else. Everything is already accomplished. If this sounds like a tricky idea to you, the flaw is in your understanding of reality, not in reality itself. Allowing nature to manifest is the way of the way. By setting aside our ambitions and leaving the way to the way, we perfect the way. And the way, this is a Taoist teaching, it's the way of life. Allow. Allow yourself to be nurtured and loved. By yourself. And bring your palms together in front of your heart. And remember that it is an honor to practice. Lift your heart, bow your head. Namaste. Thank you so very much, you guys, for sharing your practice with me today. This is Michelle Goldstein. You're at Heart Alchemy Yoga. Please subscribe to Heart Alchemy if you haven't already. Please like, share, and comment on the videos. We're super grateful for all of you, each and every one of you, truly.